Hey everyone, we're going to find the exact values of these functions with the given conditions using sum and difference identities. So we have to find these two, cosine and tangent of alpha minus beta. So the first thing we need to know is what quadrant we're in. And basically you should know that our alpha angle, so alpha belongs to quadrant 1. That means everything's positive. And our beta angle belongs to quadrant 2. Now, for our information for the first one, what I'm going to do with sine, I'm going to write it as alpha plus or minus beta so I can save time. So that's going to be sine of alpha cosine of beta plus or minus cosine of alpha sine of beta. Now the thing you have to notice is we don't have a cosine of alpha and we don't have a sine of beta. So you have to find them before we can even use the formula. Now since we're in quadrant 1, for this one, we should know that cosine of alpha is 4 over 5. Because you should know that your triples are 3, 4, 5. Now for sine of beta, we're in quadrant 2, so sine is going to be negative. By the way, that's not quadrant 2, that's quadrant 4. Y'all were telling me that? Quadrant 4, sine is negative. So what we're going to do is use our formula. We know that, let's see, we're going to use, we know r is 5. So let's just use this. So we have cosine of beta equals 2 square root of 5 over 5, which we know is x over r. So we just have to find the y. So we're going to get 2 square root of 5 squared plus y squared equals 5 squared. So 25 equals, this is going to be 4 times 5 is 20. So y squared equals 5. You square root it, you get plus or minus. We have to take the minus. So our y is going to be minus square root of 5. And our r is 5. So sine, let me just write sine of beta is negative square root of 5 over 5. I'm going to write it on the next slide. So we have, so I like to separate this. Sine of alpha is 3/5. Cosine of alpha is 4/5. Tan of alpha, therefore, would be 3/4. And now let's do our beta. So this is our alpha side. And our beta, we have sine of beta is negative square root of 5 over 5. Cosine of beta is going to be 2 square root of 5 over 5. And tan of beta is going to be, if the 5's canceled, well, actually everything cancels. So if you do negative square root of 5 over 5 divided by 2 square root of 5 over 5, this whole thing cancels, so we just get negative 1/2. Now we can figure out everything. So we're going to use the first formula, and the first formula is going to be sine of alpha plus or minus beta equals sine of alpha cosine of beta plus or minus cosine of alpha sine of beta. Now plug everything in. So sine of alpha is 3/5. Cosine of beta is 2 square root of 5 over 5. Plus or minus cosine of alpha is 4/5. And sine of beta is negative square root of 5 over 5. And then you simplify that. So my sine of alpha plus beta equals the plus part. So that's going to be 6 square root of 5 over 25. With that negative, that's going to get minus 4 square root of 5 over 25. And that's going to be 2 square root of 5 over 25. Alright? Now for the sine of alpha minus beta, we just change this to a positive. And that gives us 10 square root of 5 over 25, which reduces to 2 square root of 5 over 5. Whoops, sorry. Now the next one we want to do is cosine of alpha plus beta. So we know that cosine of alpha plus beta equals cosine of alpha cosine of beta minus sine of alpha sine of beta. And you just fill everything in. So this would be 4/5 times 2 square root of 5 over 5 minus 3 square root of 5 times negative square root of 5 over 5. And this is going to simplify to 8 square root of 5 plus 3 square root of 5 all over 25, which equals 11 square root of 5 over 25. And the last one is tangent. Tangent of alpha minus beta equals tan of alpha minus tan of beta over 1 plus tan of alpha times tan of beta. So we're going to get 3 over 4 minus negative 1/2 over 1 plus 3 over 4 times negative 1/2. And this simplifies to 5 over 4 divided by 5 over 8. And if you remember, this is like 5 over 4 divided by 5 over 8, which is the same as 5 over 4 times 8 over 5. And that cancels. So 8 over 4 is 2. And that's all. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.